And I think in the last 20 years, at least I see this in Europe. I can't speak for Asia, but I'm not sure I agree that we're all becoming closer and more alike. I'm not sure I agree.
I think that's for business, yes, because you're looking for cheaper resources.
Sure.
But in the country itself, they have their own culture. It's not really make it together.
And I really think that would be more interesting for people to be different and look different. I like to travel to different countries, and I don't want them to look like my country, Jordan.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go eat in McDonald's, in Jordan. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
I value
yes.
They're different.
Yes.
First, I'd like to say your presentation was very illustrative, and I like the way you really made everything clear. I've never seen such a clear presentation before. But my question is, so I would imagine that somebody from Japan, you don't need a lot of cross-cultural training if they're going to a Latin American country, or the Russian to the Indian. I would imagine this to be true, since you're saying that these big differences between mostly North Atlantic West,
yeah, and
basically the rest of the world.
Yeah.
So mostly the cross-cultural training, if I'm correct, is between West and other parts, and then other parts in the West, basically. Is that true or no?
You know, I haven't thought about it that way, but you made me think of several things. Okay, so a quick response. Of course, as she pointed out, everybody wants cheaper parts, okay? At the end of the day, we live in an economic world, right? And if you look at 500 years of human history, where is the power in the economy? It's been European. That's why the U.S. is strong. I mean, the U.S. is basically the child of the Europeans. So the West, meaning Europe, has dominated world commerce. So what does that say about who adjusts to who? Okay? And this is what we have to tell our American clients. We have to tell Americans, look, the rest of the world has been adjusting to Americans for 50 years since World War II. So Americans go everywhere and they expect people to speak English, even if they're related. Yeah, and everyone is speaking English.
And I'm speaking everybody comes here to speak.
And you know, here's my experience. I worked for a British NGO for 8 years. I traveled in 40 countries. Since then, I've been in 15 more. But in that time, every country I was in, there was competition for American business from the Germans, from the Japanese, and from the Koreans. Even in Africa. I was in Cameroon, and the competition to the Americans were Japanese, Korean, and German. And everywhere I went, those other three countries, they're strong countries, right, economically. And everywhere I went, the Koreans, the Japanese, and the Germans, they all spoke the local language. I've been in Chile with Koreans speaking Spanish. The Japanese, American, Germans, and Koreans, they always spoke the local language, and the Americans never did. See, Americans are used to other people adjusting to them. And we don't live in that world anymore. People don't want to adjust to the Americans. They want the Americans to come halfway. They want the Americans to do their share. And Americans are still not ready and still not willing. So there's always a commercial factor. You know, we cannot separate. We are economic beings. And there are countries that have power, and there are countries that have less power. And it's always been a rule of human nature that whoever has power makes the rules. And we're not saying that's good, but that's the reality. Thank you for your feedback. I hope this helps you. You know, we've tried to do two things. Make clear what some cultural differences are. We showed you 3 tools. We have 12 that we normally work with, so there are many more that we didn't show you. And to help you think about a little bit more, maybe, what it is that makes American culture the way it is. So, any closing comments? I know we're at the end of time, so we want to respect your time.
Other comments?
I think I want to, as you say that lower is being protected. I think the way people here that every immigrant could come, that's because they're also being protected. I think the law in the United States is clear. Like you cannot, even illegal immigrant could even do protest in the street and not be caught by a cop. Like in other places, that's it, you're gone.
Yeah. It's
So
amazing,
It's
really.
amazing. That's yeah. Even in the workplace, you've been fired or something, you can still go to the fight with justice. So we have a very good law in the land or something like that.
We have a good foundation. I think this is a great country,
Yeah.
but I think we can learn. I think this country can be better with people from Jordan and Mexico and anywhere.
It's true.
Because all cultures have good and bad things. And if we take the good, we can all do better. I really believe this. So please, whatever you have from your culture that is good, don't lose it.
Yeah, but we have
Share it.
I think you can find
Yes.
beauty in every culture. I think that's an important thing
Yes.
to look
Yes.
for, good things in the American culture and take things
Yes.
and keep what you have,
Yes.
the good things in your culture. And
It's true, but we have to defend also, because more and more our private right is taken away. If you go to airport, then I know what.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Ed, Cynthia, thank you. This is. I almost want to say to everybody, come over to my house. We'll have some tea and some wine, because this is a fascinating topic, and I know we all have stories we'd really like to share. I was zipping my mouth, because so many things that you mentioned. We could start and say, okay, look at the chart. Why does every Arab guy that I know want me to help him find a Mexican girl? Truly, there's so. Or why was Saudi Arabia not a shock to me as much as I thought it would be? Because I knew Latin America. There they are on the chart, so it was easier for me. But we're not going to talk about that. Thank you, Ed. Tomorrow, we are presenting a report in City Hall at 10 o'clock, and that'll be linked. It's a report on the immigrants that live here, lots of new data. I think it's fascinating. Please do, when you get your bulletin, click on that and read the report. Also, you probably got a bulletin, a note this week, over the weekend, about Carnival, our Carnival for Haiti. Help us out by forwarding that to your friends. It's something new that we're trying. And this seminar will be in about 10 days. It'll be available for those that have missed it. So tell all your friends that couldn't make it because of the weather or something else, that hopefully the lighting won't be a problem, but I think, I think probably the backlighting will be sufficient. So we'll have that available. And most of the other classes are also there for you to catch up on. Thank you again.
And look at the books before you